Hello friends, welcome back to Technique, and today we'll be doing the detailed review of the new OnePlus 12. Now OnePlus 12 was launched officially last week, and we have been testing this device for more than 3 weeks now, and this is our in-depth review of the device. Now we have also done other videos like the charging test, the camera review. We have compared the cameras with a couple of other devices. We have done speed test comparison, the benchmark performance, a lot of videos we have done for the OnePlus 12. Now this is our in-depth review. We will be talking about the pros and cons, what has improved, what has to be improved, everything we'll cover in this detailed video. So before getting into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. So the OnePlus 12 comes with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, the flagship chip for 2024, and OnePlus has retained quite a lot of features from the previous generation. In fact, the design has also been retained. Now this is priced around the 60 to 65,000 rupees in India and comes with two variants, 12GB RAM and the 16 gigs of RAM. So that's the hardware aspect. Let's go straight into the detailed aspect. So let's first have a look at the design aspect. Now looking at the design, you can see here very similar in terms of the design when compared to the previous device. That's a OnePlus 11. Now design has been refined actually. There has been some changes in terms of design, especially the thickness and the weight. Now the battery capacity has been increased to 5400 mAh. That makes the device a bit more thicker. So let's talk about the design. Now if you look at the design language, you can see that OnePlus has carried forward the design from previous generation. Now you can see that the camera unit is once again circular. We have this glossy panel which is being flushed to the main frame area. We have the lenses covered with a glass, and we have this emerald color which actually looks pretty good with the pattern. This is a matte finish. This is Corning Gorilla Glass 5 support, so it is actually slightly slippery in hands, and also the thickness is now increased to 9.2 mm and the weight is slightly above 200. In fact, it's 220 grams, so it's definitely on the heavier side. But having said that, you don't actually feel it's a very heavy device, although it's slightly thicker because of the larger capacity battery. Now looking at the design language, you can see that there is a curved finish towards both the edges, both the display as well as the back panel. Now the display has Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 support, and you can see that the edges are pretty good. The bezels are kept to minimum, and you can see that the overall bezel experience looks pretty good. Now here we have the power and volume keys. The alert slider is there here to make the phone silent or vibrate. Now here the USB Type-C port, speaker unit, and the dual SIM card slot. Now the back panel has this camera housing OnePlus logo, and on the top we have the IR blaster as well. So that's the design language of this device. So overall, even though this device is slightly heavy because of the increased battery capacity, it doesn't feel that big. You do get a bit of heaviness in the device. It also has IP65 rating, not 68, so it's not water resistant. It's IP65 only, and we have the Gorilla Glass protection on the front as well as back. Now this is slightly slippery in nature, but you need some time to get used to the slipperiness. But overall, I feel it's a solid device in terms of build quality offered. So that's one of the good things about the OnePlus 12. So overall design definitely looks good. It's kind of premium device when you're holding. So we feel the design definitely looks good, especially this green color looks great. So that's the design aspect of the OnePlus 12, and the build quality is definitely good, and it feels very premium in hands, along with the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 and the Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the back panel. Next, let's move on to the display. Now the OnePlus 12 comes with a OLED panel. It's a 120Hz OLED panel with 1440 by 3168 resolution with 510 pixels per inch. Now this is a QHD plus, that's a Quad HD plus resolution display. That's pretty good. Now you can convert the display to a full HD resolution by lowering the pixel. That option is there in the display. Now the display is really vibrant and crisp. It's an OLED LTPO panel with great colors. There is Dolby Vision support. Then you get the HDR10 plus support. So it's power packed with the best aspects you can expect on a display, and on top of that it can go up to 4500 nits of peak brightness with the HDR mode. Although we couldn't get to that level even with HDR mode, around the peak brightness to be around 1500 to 2000 nits, somewhere around 1500 1700 can be achieved in the vivid mode. So you can change the modes. Along with that, you can also play around with the screen resolution and also the refresh rate. So since it's an LTPO panel, you can go to the auto select refresh rate, thereby going from 1 to 120 Hz refresh rate. Now the display quality as such looks very vibrant, crisp and detailed. The display colors are really punchy, especially when you're watching movies. The bezels experience makes it really vibrant, and overall quality of the displays looks good, and the touch response also is very nice. So display is once again really great on the OnePlus flagship device. Even last year also OnePlus had a brilliant display. The same goes with the OnePlus 12 as well. So display won't disappoint you because it's a power packed display on the OnePlus 12. Let's move on to the software. Now OnePlus 12 is powered by Android 14 out of the box, and this has OS 14. Now we have done the OS 14 videos late last year when it was released for the flagship devices as well. Now this is out of the box OS 14 and Android 14, and you get 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security patches. Although Samsung offers 7 years with the S24 series, this is quite okay. I would say 4 years is not bad by any means. It's pretty good. And let's look at what is being offered in the software on the OnePlus 12. So let's have a look at the OS on the OnePlus 12. So we have covered the OS 14 when it was released late last year. Now this is also running the OS 14. So if you go to the settings, you can actually see all the details here. OS 14, Android 14, and this is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 mobile platform, and 16 gigs of RAM. That's the one we have tested. And if you look at the UI experience, you can see here very similar to the previous version, but this has been much more refined, and you get to see additional features. And if you look at the special features, you can see the smart sidebar where we have this functionality called file dock, which we have covered previously. So you can drag and drop a file from one application to another using this file dock. Then smart cutout functionality is there in this picture or image gallery, and then there are a lot of additional features included. Optimizations with the performance and software, and memory management has also been improved. So those things are there. Then you get these additional options as well, and you can see that the UI looks much more cleaner. And if you look at the wallpaper and style, you can see that always on display, team support, colors, fingerprint animation you can customize. This has an in-display fingerprint scanner, and edge lighting for notification also you can customize. So these 4 options are included in the UI. So there hasn't been any major change with respect to UI with the OS 14, but it definitely feels more refined. And you can also see that the app drawer again looks pretty good. The notification toggles are also more refined right now. So that is a software experience. So this also gets 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security patches. That's pretty good. Let's move on to the performance. Now this is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip. This is one of the powerful chips for Android flagship rather, and this is coupled with up to 16 gigs of RAM. You can also get 12 gigs of RAM. This is a LPDDR5X RAM, UFS 4.0 support. Now this is one of those devices where you get a solid performance all around, whether it be gaming or the day-to-day usage. It was very smooth experience, hardly any lag or hiccups, and this definitely feels very smooth in terms of usage. Along with that, the OS 14 optimization makes it really good. App opening time, the response time, memory management, everything has been improved with the Trinity engine from OnePlus. So performance is never an issue on this device. Now let's have a look at the benchmark scores. You can see that the benchmark score of this device, it's around 17 lakh even with the performance mode turned on, which is not bad by any means, but you can actually see that the other devices with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 or rather Gen 3, namely the iQOO, had crossed around 20 lakh in AnTuTu score. But this is again pretty good. We wouldn't say this is anything bad, but OnePlus doesn't have the best benchmark score around. But in terms of performance, we hardly see any hiccups. Even when it comes to gaming, the experience is pretty good, solid experience. You get vapor chamber cooling, pretty good vapor chamber cooling as well, and hardly there is any temperature rise in terms of normal usage. So I would say it's very optimized in terms of gaming experience as well. Although if you're looking for the best gaming experience, you get this iQOO 12, which has really great great optimized gaming experience. That would be better than the OnePlus 12 in terms of gaming experience. But if you are not much into gaming, but you do play games here and then you don't see any sort of issues on the OnePlus 12. Now let's talk about the other aspects, which includes the call quality, which is pretty good. Dual 5G calls are available. Then we tried with Airtel and Jio network, and both were pretty good, solid experience. There is no call drops. There is also dual stereo speakers on this device. So let's quickly have a look at the sound quality from the speakers. Now there is in-display fingerprint scanner included, which is quite fast. Again, very similar to the previous generation. There isn't much of a change. Now there is also IP65 rating. As I said before, IP65 is not waterproof. It's kind of slight splashes can be allowed, but it's definitely not waterproof. That's one thing we feel OnePlus should be bringing. IP68 should be available at this price segment, around 60 to 70k price segment. It should have been included, but that's kind of missing thing. But otherwise, it's a solid device in terms of performance and software experience. Now next, let's talk about the cameras. Now that's one thing which everyone will be looking at. Now again, this has Hasselblad partnership like last 2 years. Now this is a 50 megapixel Sony Light 808 sensor, and you get a 48 megapixel ultra wide. There is a Sony sensor, and then you get an OmniVision sensor, the 64 megapixel sensor, and you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera on the front. Now the camera setup is quite similar to the OnePlus Open. So let's have a look at the camera sample. So in case you want a detailed camera review, we have posted the detailed camera review of the OnePlus 12. So in terms of daylight conditions, we feel it's a very good solid experience, good colors, good dynamic range. But one thing what is not so great is the sharpness levels. It could have been slightly better overall, at least for a flagship device, but it won't disappoint users by any means. But having said that, it may not be the best camera performance out there. Now the ultra wide also produces pretty good results. The telephoto lens also has pretty good clarity and detail. The close-up shots are good. The macros are pretty solid actually. Again, very detailed and sharp images. The portraits are good, but one thing what we didn't like about the portraits is the edge detection, which is not that great with the 3x portrait. That needs to be fixed. A bit more fine-tuning is required. And the low-light experience was quite good actually. There is good amount of details and noise has been kept to minimum. So the low-light performance definitely feels quite okay. And the selfie camera also lived up to its expectations. Pretty good solid selfie cameras. Now the video recording is okay, I would say, although a bit of issues with respect to white balance. We feel OnePlus could tune the video recording a bit more, but the stability is good. The stabilization rather, the OIS plus EIS combination is pretty good. So if you look at the cameras as a whole, it's a good package out there, but it may not be the best camera out there in this price segment. That's the OnePlus camera in a nutshell, but it won't disappoint users in any way. Now finally moving on to the battery life. Now this device comes with a large 5400 mAh battery, as we said before. That's the reason the thickness of the device has been increased. Now the 5400 battery capacity is probably the best we have seen in this price segment or the flagship category in the recent years. The 5400 mAh battery lasts really good. In normal or casual usage, you can easily get up to 2 days of battery life probably. But then if you are a heavy usage, you can easily still go through 1.5 days of battery life. But again, if you are playing a lot of games, probably it might come down to 1 day. But for an average user, 1.5 days of battery life is easily possible. Again, it depends upon person to person and the apps you use, but this is based on my testing, including browsing, camera usage, social networking apps, WhatsApp and other apps running, and a few calls as well. With that kind of usage, you definitely get excellent battery life on the OnePlus 12. So battery life is really good. You get 100-watt fast charging, which can charge the device in around 23 minutes flat for the 5000 mAh battery. That's really impressive performance. And I also get wireless charging out of the box, and although you need to buy the separate wireless charger, 50-watt wireless charging is there that can even charge the device in around 45 to 50 minutes. So it's a power packed device in terms of battery experience, solid performance in terms of charging speed, battery life, and also wireless charging is included. So that was my review of the OnePlus 12. So now summing up, up, what are the good aspects? The good aspects include great design, good build quality, excellent displays, great software experience, 4 years of Android updates promised, and good performance and pretty good decent gaming experience as well. Decent set of cameras which won't disappoint, but again this is not the best cameras out there. Great battery life and solid charging speeds. Now what are the cons? Probably I would say IP68 should have been there on this device. That's something which is missing, and then the cameras could be tuned a bit more better, especially when you are spending around 65 to or rather 60 to 65k. I would expect slightly better camera performance, but again I would like to repeat this, the camera performance is not bad on this device, but at this price segment I feel OnePlus should be stepping up the game, especially in the camera performance. That's what we feel. So those are the pros and cons of the device. Again, this is slightly thicker device, but again that won't impact your regular usage. So summing up, the OnePlus 12 is a solid package from OnePlus, and OnePlus has done a commendable job in fixing all the issues. Probably a bit more refinement is needed in the camera, but otherwise the OnePlus 12 is a solid all-round package, hardly anything to complain here. And if you're looking for an all-round flagship device, we highly recommend the OnePlus 12 in terms of the experience. Now looking at the competition, OnePlus 12 is priced at 64,999 in India, that's starting variant, and 69,999 for the 16 gigs of RAM variant, although there are some card offers which will bring down the price. Now if you look at the competition, the iQOO 12 is priced much lower, around the 50 to 60,000 price segment, and also the Vivo X100, which is another competitor, which is again priced similarly. Now the S24 series, which is priced a lot higher than the OnePlus 12. So the pricing also is quite good, I would say, from OnePlus. It's a solid package when you look at the price to what it is being offered. We feel OnePlus makes a really good impact with the OnePlus 12 in the flagship category. So that was my experience with the OnePlus 12. So what do you guys think about the OnePlus 12? Is it a really good package, or what are the shortcomings, or what are the good aspects according to you? Do let us know all about that in the comment section. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.